try to get this lighting right. Look, get the lighting a little better for this video. I really don't care. I kind of like organic, when the light flickers in and out. Shit, to me, it kind of goes against the grain, where everybody's got to have these fancy lights. They go out and spend all this money. And, you know what I'm saying? But, trying to get it situated here. And, figured I'd make a video today. Kind of talk about me, man. I was talking about Final Richie on the last video and shit. And he's over there bitching and crying still about it. So I figured, I can't pick on him without picking on me a little bit, I'm proud of myself. I am proud of myself that I quit drinking. Now, you can't see it, but up in there, I've got a bunch of old empty whiskey bottles. One day I'm going to throw them out. But, I could do anything I put my mind to, man. I know that sounds arrogant. Might even be a little male sexist. But I'm a fucking man. If I decide that I'm not gonna fucking drink, then I'm fucking done drinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking done. There's too many fucking wishy-washy motherfuckers in the world, man. If you can't handle your fucking liquor, quit drinking. It's just that simple. Quit fucking drinking. Kind of got something weighing me down. I don't know if you can tell, but it's been bothering me a little bit. And it has to do with drinking. That's why I'm talking the way that I'm talking. I took a week off of work. And I went through my garage. This is like my garage is like my home. I spend my time in the garage. I like being in the garage. I don't know why. Might be some fucking mental Kentucky thing or something. I like the garage doors open. If it rains or something, I can enjoy that. I've got my stereo here, speakers and stuff. Daisy, she can frolic in the yard, barking at things, To me, it's just, I like the garage, man. And for the past, I don't know, many, many years, that you guys know that I've been out here, it's just been pandemonium. It's just been pandemonium. So I took a week off of work, and I'm kind of a hoarding, clutter type person. A lot of things. One of the things with alcoholism is you don't realize how bad you're off until you sober up, man. I mean, this is facts. It's like you go back and look at like in the garage, and it's like, man, I need to go through the garage, man, and get this mess straightened up. Just things and stuff and insanity everywhere, man. So I took off a week of vacation from work. And that's what I did, man. It was very therapeutic. It really was, man. I just went through, like I would take time and I would just go through things, man. I was just going through. I found pictures of my kids. I found fishing lures that I can't even remember doing them. I can't remember doing these lures. I've got them sitting right here. Fishing lures that I've repainted and stuff, man. It's like I can't even remember when I did these. It's been so many. I've been doing it for so many years. But yeah, I painted that. You can see where I signed it. Beautiful paint, man. I've never used this thing, man. You know, it's a Rapala Rip and Wrap, and yeah, I found it out here in the garage. And no recollection, man. Alcoholism, But this is one of the reasons, very therapeutic. Went through these things, and speaker, stereo stuff, man. There was things that I just threw away, you know, cleaned, And the thing is, it's like stuff. Everything was covered in dust and dirt. It was horrible. Like, it's just horrible. So it's like when I took it out, I would have to clean it and sweep and spray cleaner on it and stuff. So that was my vacation. My vacation this year was doing some therapeutic work on myself due to alcoholism. I'm just saying, if it's good. I mean, if you're a recovering alcoholic, you have to learn to take care of yourself. You know what I mean? And that you have to go through things, man, and deal with things. I found some pictures of my son when he was in school, going to the prom or, whatever, one of them dances, man. And he looked so handsome. And I took some pictures and showed it to him. He's like, man, I didn't even know those existed anymore. I found one of his the first fishing reel I ever bought for my son. I found that. It's sitting over here on the shelf. Let me tell you something else. I'll tell you a story about something that I did that I'm not really proud of. I'm not proud of it, but I am proud of it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that's hard to understand. Most people won't understand. A lot of people will understand. Men will understand. A lot of women won't, but a lot of women will. I've suspected for years that I had another son. Right? I had a female friend, obviously. Wonderful person. She's just a very sweet person. Uh, we were more friends than didn't never have like a relationship, but we were like friends. We were just friends that with benefits. I guess is that what you call it? Friends with benefits. She was to me. She was very attractive to me. She was very attractive. She was tall. She had beautiful eyes, a beautiful smile, and long legs. You know what I'm saying? So it was like she's probably about my height. I would say probably about with her shoes off. She's probably 5'11". I mean, she's up there. So I'm a sucker for those Amazons. But years ago, um, we was hanging out, literally. But she's always had like health issues. Okay, where she's like always wanted a baby, always wanted to have a baby, and she never could have a baby. She was married at one time, and they never had kids. She was with different people and stuff, and she just kind of in her own mind just kind of just came to the conclusion that she just couldn't have babies. She worked at a fertility clinic. Okay, I'll just tell you how bad she had it. She had her eggs frozen and stuff, where she was just like, she had Crohn's disease and stuff like that. So she was always had health issues where she always thought she just couldn't have a baby. So one day we was hanging out, and I told her, I said, I'm gonna give you a baby. She didn't believe me, right? So anyway, this is back in when I was full blown drinking days, right? So me and her's talking and shit, and something happened between us, right? It's like it took a turn and it got a little bit more serious, right? And my guess is, this is just my guess, is she probably found out that she was pregnant, right? So she was probably like, I need to figure out a way to make it work with this guy, right? I'm pregnant. She wanted to have a family. I get it. And me being the drunk at the time, I was a belligerent, raging alcoholic. She just finally came to the conclusion that this isn't going to work, right? So sadly, you know, she decided, sadly for me, she decided to go a different direction. So now I have a son. I have another son in the world that's not going to know who his father is because of alcoholism, man. That's sad. To me, that's sad. She just basically, she just ghosted me, right? She ghosted me, and, we kind of had our little spat or whatever, and then we just stopped talking, right? But I always wondered, I was like, that time, it's like, I wonder if something happened. I'm not a dummy. I'm not a dummy. So then I come to find out that she got married, right? She gets married. She just gets married. Just like months later, she's getting married. I'm like, what the fuck? And then, you know, you know, whatever, 9 months or 12 months later, she has a baby. And I'm like, what? Now, at first, I'm like, this surely can't be my baby. Surely this can't be my baby, right? I'm thinking, I'm doubtful. That's what we do as humans. I'm like, I don't know, man. This can't be my baby. And I'm looking at the baby picture, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think that was mine. And I'm looking at the picture. Babies are, you can't tell what a baby looks like when they're babies. They all look the same. You just have some that are cuter than others. But a baby looks like a baby. So, now this is like a year or so later. You know what I'm saying? This is like a year or so later after this, me and her kind of unfriended each other. She's married to this guy, right? So then a couple years go by, and I'm like, So I'm like, I'm going to go check it on her Facebook, and I'm going to check out and see if she's got any more pictures, right? So she's got some pictures, and I'm looking at the kid, and he's got like a hat on, and it's winter time and a big winter coat, and I really can't tell. I'm like, still, man, I don't know. I'm not seeing it yet. I don't think he looks like his dad. His married, the father that, the guy that thinks that's his kid, obviously. I don't think he looks like that goofball. This guy looked like a fucking goofball, right? So, she doesn't post a lot on her Facebook either. So it's like, I think she knows. You know what I'm saying? That in itself is a sign that she knows. She's being very cautious with the situation. She's afraid that maybe that the crazy drunk guy, right? But on my Facebook, I've been posting that I'm sober. I'm celebrating sobriety, right? So it's been 5 years almost 5 years now. And she starts posting pictures. And I'm like, oh, there you are. There you are. My son. And I went back and I was looking at pictures of me when I was a kid. And put them side by side. And then you look at his hands and his arms. He's a brute. And I'm like, wow. Wow. So because of alcoholism, she had to make that choice. I blame alcoholism. I blame myself. But I also will blame her. Because, I mean, to me, it's like, no words, no get your shit together, dry up, and, I'm pregnant. Nothing, never said anything. Just went straight to playing, I don't know, maybe he's playing A. Maybe I'm not even a plan. You know what I'm saying? So she goes straight to this guy. Hey, I'm pregnant. Let's get married, And obviously, I'm not no dumbass. Maybe this guy's a little bit dumber than me. He's more was what you like to call a sucker. So it's like, yeah, there's a sucker with some health insurance. He'll work, and she marries this guy and just going to let this sucker raise her kid, and it's just like, that to me in itself is kind of a flag, right? Would you guys agree that's a fucking flag? Now, granted, like I said, I'm not taking myself out of the equation. It's like, you get the sucker or you get the fucking belligerent, alcoholic. Which one do you want? Well, they both got, jobs, income, and health insurance, but I think I'm going to go with this guy. So we'll just convince this sucker that this is his baby. I mean, it just didn't matter months, and this guy, ooh, let's get married. That's what fucking dumbass guys do. Let's just go get married. But he is a beautiful young man. Beautiful. Big, pretty eyes like his mom. Blue eyes. Because both of us have blue eyes. He's got a great smile. Big, like I said, big old hands and arms. He's going to be a man's man. And let me just braggadocious about myself. That's the third man I've made. I make men, It takes a real fucking man to make a man. That may upset you a little bit, but let's just face the facts. I've made 3 men. And she didn't even think she could get pregnant. She had, given up. But Brother Bry came in for the show. She never experienced nothing like that before. And her ass had a baby. But it's sad, man. Like I said, I'm happy that she wanted a family and a baby so bad. I'm happy for her. Tremendously happy. But I'm also sad that he'll probably never get to meet his dad because of that alcoholism, So yeah, over 3.5 years, approaching 3 years and 7 months of sobriety. Alcohol is poison. If you let alcohol, it will destroy your life, man. It will totally destroy your life if you let it. I mean, really. You know, it's like the more sober I get, the farther I get away from alcoholism, and the more I look back at my surroundings and look at myself and examine myself, I see how bad it affected me and how bad it destroyed lots. You know, there's so many things in my life that I lost because of alcoholism. You know, my kids that I was raising by myself for years, I had to deal with that. You know, alcohol is poison. In my book, it's poison. I will never drink again. Never, ever, ever, ever drink again. Don't ever think that I'll pick another fucking drink, a bottle, and get fucking drunk again. Don't ever think that about me. I'm done with it. Been there, fucking done it, and I'm over it, man. You know, I want to have clarity of thought and peace of mind and soul the rest of my life, man. And I don't know. I just life is a motherfucker, man. Life is a motherfucker. And I've had a fucking motherfucking life, man. From born to now, man. I'm 51 years old and I've earned this fucking gray hair. I fucking earned it. I have earned this shit, man. I have been through shit that fucking would kill a normal motherfucker. You know, and I wonder sometimes, I'm like, why do I keep going through this shit? You know, why me? You ever think that? And a lot of times the reason it is you can fucking handle it, I guess. You know, we're here to learn, we're here to be educated. You know, and one day we'll leave this place and we'll have an education for the next, you know, semester of our life. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. I just wanted to kind of do a little video, kind of freestyle it again, a little bit more of a laid back video. Smoke me a little smoke, drink me a little Italian roast coffee. Man, I love the Italian roast coffee. I love it. Get the Italian roast with the Italian uh, cream. At Kroger's, I buy it at Kroger's. That's what I drink, man, with my stories. Thanks for hanging out, man. Brother Brian's out of here.